So today I'm going to be doing the basket weave stitch with you. So for the basket stitch, we're obviously going to begin with our foundation chain like we do with all of our projects. So you just want to create your slip knot, and you want to work your foundation chain in multiples of 8. So you can have it as wide or as small as you want it, as long as it's a multiple of 8. So to chain, you just want to yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and you'll just continue this until you've got your desired length for whatever project it is that you want to do, just so long as it's a multiple of 8. So obviously I'm only doing a quick sample piece today, so I've done 24, and now whatever number you've worked to, you now need to add an additional 7 chains at the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So whatever you did, you need to add 7 more to the end. And now for all of this project, we are going to be working in treble crochets. Now remember, that's a UK treble. In the US, this is your double crochet. So we're going to work into the 3rd chain from the hook. So you've got 1, 2, and then this one here is your 3rd. And you're going to treble into that 3rd chain. So to treble, you want to yarn over, insert into that 3rd chain, yarn over and pull up, and you've now got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through 2. And we're just going to do that all the way along. So yarn over, insert into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up, you've got your 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And again into the next, and you're just going to do this all the way along your foundation chain. You're going to do a UK treble into each of your chains. So if you want to do that, and then I will meet you back when you get to the end of your foundation chain. So I've now done a UK treble into each of my chains on my foundation chain, and I've done right up to the very end in front of the slip knot. So that's our foundation row done. So now we're going to work on to row 1 of the actual pattern. And to do that, you want to chain 2, 1, 2, and then you're going to turn your work around. And now we're going to be doing front post trebles for the next 4 stitches. So we've done our chain 2, and that's going to count as a treble on the top of this one here. And then we're going to do our first front post treble on this stitch here. Now to do a front post treble, if you haven't done them before, they can feel a little bit funny when you first start doing them. They do take a little bit of getting used to and remembering which way round to put your hook and things like that as you work. So I'll do these with you now. So to do a front post treble, you want to yarn over, and then you're going to insert your hook around the back of that treble. So it pulls that treble out onto the top of your hook, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through. So you'll have your 3 loops as normal now. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that is your first front post treble. And now you're going to do that again another 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, you're going to do a front post treble around each of these trebles. So again, you yarn over, go around the back of the next treble, yarn over and pull up, and then finish your treble as normal. So we now have 2 front post trebles, and you're going to do it again. So yarn over, go around the back, so you're pushing it out to the front. So that's how you can remember your front post treble, is you push it out to the front. So that's 3 now, and then 1 more. Remember, you're going behind the treble, and so that is your 4 front post trebles. So all of these trebles will now stick out slightly from your very first trebles here. And now we're going to do 4 back post trebles. Now the back post trebles I always find to be a little bit trickier than front post trebles. So for the back post, you want to put your hook, you're going to work behind your work, but you're coming in front of the treble itself. So you're going to put your hook behind your work and come through in front of the treble, and then complete your treble as normal. And then the next one, you're going to yarn over and your hook's going to go to the back of your work and up through the front, and you're going to push that treble back. So that's 2. And again, yarn over, go to the back of your work and then over the front of the treble and complete your treble. That's 3. And then 1 more round the back and go in front of the treble. So that's your 4 back post trebles. And now we're back onto front post trebles. So you're going to yarn over and then you're going to do your front post treble again. So you're going to do 4 front post trebles. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're back onto your 4 back post trebles. So yarn over, remember your hook goes around the back of your work and you come in front of the treble, and you're going to do 4 of those. That's 1, hook around the back and in front of the treble, 2, 3, 4, and then you're back onto your front post trebles. So you're going to do 4 front post trebles, and you're just going to repeat it all the way to the end. 4 front post trebles and 4 back post trebles. So you might want to rewind it if you're not 100% confident with the hook placement. You can just rewind it and watch this little bit as many times as you need to complete your foundation, to complete row 1. So if you want to do that, and then I will meet you at the end of your row. So I'm just coming to the end of my row now. I'm on my last section of front post trebles. So I've done 1, 2, 3, and then I've got 1 last treble here. So I'll do my last front post treble around there. And then you need to make sure that you just catch this little 2 chains here from where we turned at the very beginning of our foundation chain. So into this you're going to do a half treble. So remember, that's UK half treble. So you're going to yarn over and insert in somewhere near the top of those chains, and yarn over, pull through, and you've got 3 loops, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So that now is the start of your basket weave pattern. So now we're going to move on to the next row, and to do that you are going to chain 2 and turn. So 1 and 2, and then turn your work around again. So now we are going to work along, and we are going to do the opposite to what we did in the first row. So these first 4 trebles are sitting backwards, so they're pointing more down towards my table, and then these 4 are pointing raised up towards me. So this time we're going to do the opposite. So we are going to do, in these first 4, we are going to do back post trebles. So you've done your chain 2, which will always count as your one for the edge for this first one here, and then you will always work around your first stitch here. So remember that we are going to do back post trebles this time. So it's a yarn over, and then your hook goes around the back of your work and catches that treble on the back here, and yarn over and pull up, and then complete your treble as normal. And again around the next one, you're going around the back of your work and pushing that treble out to the back, and then do your treble. And 2 more times. And then your last one. So now we're going to do front post trebles for the next 4. So you push that one out in front. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then again you're going to do back post trebles, so you're going to yarn over and go around at the back of your work to catch those trebles. So you're going to do that for the next 4 again, and you can probably guess you're just going to repeat that all the way to the end. So we're doing opposite of what we did on the first row. So any that are pushing down towards the table, you're going to be doing back post trebles, and any that are raised up facing you, you're going to do front post trebles, and you're going to continue that all the way to the end. So I'm on my front row trebles again now, front post, sorry, not front row. So you'll do 4 of each all the way to the end. So if you want to do that, and then meet me back when you get towards the end of your row, and I'll just show you how to move on to your next row. So if you want to meet me back there in just a minute. So I'm just nearing the end of this row now. I'm on my last section of back post trebles. So I've done 3, I've got 1 more back post treble to do here. So I'll just complete that one. And then you've just got your chain 2 from where we started the last row. So you're just going to do a half treble into the top of that remaining stitch. So that's the end of row 2, so you can see that the pattern is starting to build now. So to move on to row 3, you're going to chain 2. And now we want to work in opposite from what we've got already. So you can see we've got a section that stands out to us, and then a section that points back towards the table, stands out, sits back, and so on. So now you want to do the opposite to what you've already got, and that will obviously, that's what creates the basket weave effect. So you want your next block on top of this section here to sit back, the next section here where it's sitting back now, you want the next one to push forwards, and so on. So to do that, you've done your chain 2, which always counts as your half treble for the side here, and now we're going to do back post trebles. So yarn over and go around the back of the work and push that treble out to the back, and then yarn over and pull up. So you've got 3 loops, and then do your treble, and then again around the back of the next one. 2, 3, and 4. And then you want to do your next section wants to stand forwards, because the bottom one is pushing back. So you're going to do front post trebles around this one. So yarn over and then push your treble out to the front and do 4 of those. So 1, yarn over, and your hook goes around the back of that treble to push it forwards. 2, 3, and 4. And then again you want this next section to push backwards, so you're going to do back post trebles. So yarn over and go around the back of your work and push that treble out to the back, and do your next 4 back post trebles. And so you're just going to repeat that to the end to do the opposite of whatever the bottom block is. You're going to do the opposite. So you can see now that we've got the standout block, and now we're going to create the block that sits backwards. And here we've got the backwards one, and we're creating the block that sits out in front. So you just need to do the opposite of what's already there. So again, we're on to the section now that sits back. So we want to do front post trebles. So if you want to repeat that all the way to the end of your row, and I will meet you when you get back towards the end. So again, I'm just getting towards the end of this row. So I've done 3 back post trebles. So I want to do 1 more around this last full treble here. And then again, we've just got the chain 2, which you want to just do a half treble into the top of. So that's how you should be looking now. So we're going to move on to the next part of the pattern. So you're going to chain 2 and turn again. And so now, obviously, if we look back at the other side of your work, you need to create 1 more row that will be the same direction as the row that you've just done. So you need another row that is going to push back and another row that's going to push forward. So we've done our chain 2, and so you want to make sure that these are pushing forwards again. So these first 4 you're going to do front post, the next 4 you're going to do back post, front post, back post, and so on. So we're going to do front post trebles into the first 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that those 2 rows are brought forwards, and the last 2 rows push back towards the table. And then your next 4 are going to be back post trebles. And again, you're just going to continue that all the way along until you get to the end of your row once more. So I'm just going to finish these 4 back post trebles. And then, like I say, you would move on to 4 front post trebles because these are pushing up towards you. So if you want to do that, and then I will meet you when you get back towards the end of this row, and we'll just see how we're looking at that point. So I've just done my last set of 4 front post trebles, and again I'm just going to do my half treble into the top of that chain 2. And that is how you should be looking now. You should have nice square blocks of pushed back trebles and raised trebles, which creates the lovely basket weave effect. Now that is the entirety of the pattern, but if you weren't sure exactly where to go, you weren't 100% confident, you can just rewind the video back to where we started row 1. So not the foundation row, but back to where we started row 1. So for example, now to start the next row, I would want the next section to be raised forward. So I would do front post trebles where my hook goes around the front, and you would just repeat that as you go on. So like I say, if you're not 100% sure, you can just rewind the video back to where we started row 1 and just follow that 4 row repeats over and over until you're 100% happy with your hook placement and things like that. But I'm going to work up just a couple more rows of this pattern now, just so that you can see how it looks the further on that you get. So I'll just meet you back in a second. So I've worked up a few more rows of the pattern now, just so that you can get a better idea of how it looks the further on you go. So it is a really lovely pattern, and like I say, once you get your head around the row repeats, you know, it is quite simple and you will get into a groove with it. So I really hope that you've enjoyed the tutorial. And if you have, please remember to give me a quick thumbs up. and remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. But that's it for the basket weave, so I will see you again for another tutorial very soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.